Welcome to my Lazo podcast. Let's get into it. Today is Tuesday's episode, and boy, do we have an very interesting and juicy thread for you guys today. What secret are you currently hiding from someone that you're willing to share today? So let's see what secretas you guys have that you're willing to share with us today. All right, my husband has large feet. Okay, large enough that there are only a few places I can buy him shoes, and since the in-person place near me closed down, they're pretty much all online. All this to say, his shoes are very expensive. He also grew up poor, like the kitchen floor was his bedroom poor. Wow. He stopped being able to find his shoe size in stores before he was in high school. And before he met me, he always had one pair of shoes at a time. And sneakers were his everyday /work/dress shoe. He even worked fast food jobs in regular sneakers because he couldn't find non-slip in his size. And because getting each pair was so difficult and costly, he'd often wear his shoes until they had holes in the soles before replacing them. When he was studying to be a mechanic, I got him a pair of steel-toe boots for his birthday. I splurged and got a good brand that would last for years. He recognized the brand and knew what they sold for, and he demanded I return them. He was planning on squeezing into cheaper, smaller boots and dealing with it, so I lied, said I had bought them months before during a sale. I got them at 40% off and then signed up for all their stuff for an additional 20%. I had paid full price. I've bought him sale shoes several times since then. One time he even cried because I had gotten him a second pair of sneakers well before his old ones needed to be replaced. His shoes kept getting wet from some yard work he was doing, and he'd often have no choice but to wear wet shoes around. His last pair of work boots showed up with the first pair of sandals, and sandals he owned in over 25 years. Wow. This man's never owned sandals. That's crazy. There was a BOGO sale. She lied, but that's what she told him. That I totally made up. I just wanted to get him sandals because we camp a lot, and him using camp showers without sandals always grossed me out. Facts. But I had never managed to find a pair in his size until then. I wonder what size shoe is this man? What, you know what I mean? What size shoe is this dude? Because what is he, like a 19 or something? Like, shit. If he's going through that much trouble to find shoes, I wonder how big this dude's feet actually are. I mean, W wife though, I ain't gonna lie. W wife, like, she out here, really taking care of him and, making sure he's got shoes and stuff like that, because I'm sure he's never had that before in his entire life, to where, like she said, he was so poor that he was like on the floor, sleeping on the floor and stuff like that. And so I like that, I was like W wives, you know what I mean? All right, on to the next one. My brother bought chickens as his little organic farm was struggling. I had suggested an honesty box for the excess eggs. He spent hours making his own Red Barn shaped honesty box. Eggs went on sale, crickets, not much business at all. He was so defeated. All of a sudden, once a week, someone now calls and buys all of his stock. Could be 10 to 12 boxes of eggs. That someone is me. I buy the eggs. Aww. Hey, man, that's very nice. That's heartwarming. That's hard. And I hope that you kind of keep the ruse going because it's making them happy. You know what I mean? Hey, it's a good story. Good story. All right, I've been homeless for a while, and I have a job interview at CVS tomorrow at noon. I'm so goddamn terrified. I need the job so bad I'm desperate. Okay. All right, apparently that's a secret that they're hiding and wanted to share. Sure. I haven't been able to get over my dad's death. Everyone has moved on, and it takes everything I have to get out of bed, and you miss him so much. All right. My girlfriend was feeling very sad about turning 32 the next day. A few years ago, we went to get some wine, and while she was looking looking at some of the bottles, I asked the cashier if she could card my girlfriend so she would feel better. Legal drinking age for wine is 16 here. She happily obliged, and my girlfriend was so happy she did not stop talking about it for days. She still brings it up from time to time 3 years later. That's adorable. Hey, W Mans, he was just like, hey man, look, can you just card her? You know, it'd be like, you're too young to be buying this alcohol. I need to see your ID. Just help me out here, man. Help me out here. And hey, W Mans on that one. And that made her happy as hell. This is a very. I was thinking this was gonna be a very dark thread, but this is actually being a very bright and light thread. I'm happy for it. I'm here for it, man. It's a good change of pace. You know, let's hear some more good deeds people have been doing. I have rented a bouncy house water slide for my wife's 39th birthday. She has no idea. What? Okay. Maybe trying to recapture her youth or something. I don't know. Hopefully it goes well. If I'm being honest with you, I would love that. If my spouse bought me or like rented a bouncy house and water slide for me, I'd be down. I'd be so down. Okay, let's go. Okay, I have a sweet one. My father is convinced that lilies were my late mother's favorite flower because their wedding venue was filled to the brim with them, and she was supposed to be the one who picked the flowers. He got her lilies for every birthday, anniversary, and whenever she was in the hospital. My mother was in poor health most of her life when she passed away. The funeral was full of lilies, and he still sometimes puts a vase of lilies beside her urn. The thing is, my mother once confessed to me that lilies weren't her favorite flower. She was fine with them, but she preferred morning glories and sunflowers. My domineering godmother, however, told her those weren't classy enough for a wedding and hounded her about it until my mom gave in and let her pick lilies. Mom was actually pretty wounded by how dramatic the floral arrangements ended up being. Another big showy way of her mom to say, I'm right and you're wrong. When she later voiced this, my grandmother brushed it off. Please, no one's going to remember a thing. Oh, no one's going to remember a thing about your wedding. Oh, damn. Let's see. But my dad remembered. He got her lilies every day of their honeymoon, and by the end of the week, she had gone from annoyed to deeply touched. He didn't know the backstory. He just wanted to make her happy, and in doing so, he kind of stripped the negative association away from it. She told me she liked that he gave her lilies more than flowers themselves. They turned from a symbol of being ignored to a sign of somebody who was thinking of her happiness. She swore me to secrecy, and I'll take it to the grave. Rip Mom. Damn. That is a good one. And that's really awesome when you can, like, when your partner is able to do something like that for you. They don't even know that they're doing that. He just looks at it like, wow, she chose this kind of flower for our wedding. That must mean that that's her favorite flower, and she must want to see these every day, because every time she sees lilies, she's going to think of our wedding. Like, dude, this makes sense. And not even knowing that she's just like, that held such negative connotation, and then all of a sudden now it's like she's and I'm glad that she took it that way instead of being just like holding on to that, you know. I'm glad that she took it that way, because I'm like, hey, you know, that is a heartfelt one, man. I like this thread. It's good. It's wholesome. You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys listening, you know, you have a similar story to these people. I told my best friend I won a holiday in a raffle and wanted her to come with me free of charge. We stayed in a nice hotel, did lots of fun activities, and I paid for it all with a prepaid credit card from the raffle. I didn't win anything. I booked it all myself and paid for everything for her because she deserves a break, and I knew she couldn't afford it, nor would she have accepted me paying for it. I would do it again 10 times over. She deserves the absolute world. Aw. Hey, man. W friend. That's really cool. Man, I wish I could do something like that. That'd be awesome. I might be able to. You never know. Let me know if you've done something like that for a friend. You know what I mean? Or you see their struggle and you're like, I got you. I got you. I'm gonna take you to do something fun. Every day I fantasize about cashing everything in, leaving, and creating a new life for myself elsewhere, like a complete reinvention. Huh. Okay. Hey. Okay. Hey, if that's a secret that you're currently hiding, I think a lot of people think that. I think a lot of people are just like, man, I wonder what it would be like if I just ran off. Like I just ran off and just did something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where would I be? What would I do? I think a lot of people think that just because so many people really kind of hate their job and hate what they do for a living. I don't know. I just found out 2 of my direct reports will be fired soon because of the restructuring, and I have to keep it a secret. They are both excellent employees who do not deserve this at all. I've decided I'm handing in my resignation next week after 14 years and no other job lined up. I just can't look these people in the face. I'm not cut out for this corporate bullshit. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you could have kept your job, wrote them some great work recommendations. Yeah, I just don't see the benefit of hurting your pocket, because the company wants to fuck over somebody else. Like, you could help them out. I think you keeping your job would allow you to help them more than you leaving the job. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's admirable and I give it to you, but I don't think you really have to hurt your own pocket to really help them. You could easily be like, hey, look, we do have to let you go and stuff like that, but I will write a letter of recommendation for you guys, as well as if you guys ever need a reference from me, you can always have a job call me, and I will tell them how amazing workers you are, this, so on and so forth. I'm just saying that you could have helped them even more. And then it's great because even if they did call up, you could even have other people in your position be resources for them too. You know what I mean? Like, you could have helped them a lot more. I don't know. I'm indifferent to that one. I get it. I can see where the heart's coming from, but I think you could have helped them a lot more if you would stayed at your job. That's just me. Sometimes I'm grateful that I woke up blind. I was a total workaholic, and going blind was a nightmare that first summer. But the fact that I couldn't work in the nursing anymore, especially post-COVID, did wonders for my mental health. I also realized how much I love hanging out with my 3 sons. I didn't know how much I loved their company until I wasn't working 50, 60 hours a week, mostly third shift. So I hardly ever saw my kids. Being blind sucks. But I feel guilty sometimes for thinking that I prefer it to how things were before. But given the choice, I don't think I'd go back to being sighted, because that would mean the nightmare of working in nursing again and never seeing my husband and my kids. Wow. Dang, she went blind. But I mean, I guess it worked out for her, in a way, to where she's just like, I got more time for my kids. I can hang out with my husband some more. I'm not stressed out. I think it was a W for her, but it just sucks that she got all that at the cost of her sight. That's what sucks about that. And that's what's really tough. It's like, yeah, you have all this time on your hands and it's wonderful, but it cost you a very valuable thing, and it's your sight. Being able to see your kids smile, being able to see the look on their faces, when they accomplish something or when they get married or this and that, it's a big thing. But she kind of, I think, is just taking the good out of the situation and making it into the best she could possibly make it into. And that I give her some props on. Man, but that's tough. Very, very tough. All right, I'm going to do 4 more. The heavy feeling of being lonely. It's not there all the time. It just hits you like an anchor sometimes. Don't have too many friends, mostly because I can be a difficult person to put up with, and it's just not like I want too many. just want some company sometimes. Facts. I feel you on that. I'm the type of person that I love being kind of by myself, but then there's times where the loneliness kind of just hits you and you're just like, damn, man, and it's a lot of times where like, I'll be at work and I'll be kind of enjoying being around people and my friends there and stuff like that. And then it's time to go home and you're just like, damn, I gotta go home to like be alone, and I don't know. It does hit you every once in a while. It's not one of those things where it's just like, controls your life, but it is a thing where you're just kind of like, I don't know. I would say to him, hey man, get a dog or something, get a cat, get something, that kind of show you a little companionship. And then that might help out that, it'll kind of not make you want to just have friends for the sake of having friends or just have a relationship for the sake of having a relationship. Because I think some people do that. They get lonely and then they're just like, fuck it, I'll just date anybody, and that sucks, because then you kind of get into this relationship that you don't want to be in, and you're not really ready for that relationship, and so then it gets toxic and bad and all that kind of stuff, and then it becomes a bad relationship, and it just, yeah, and that happens. All right, we're gonna do 3 more. That I have prostate cancer. I have told my siblings and my next door neighbor, who also has it. We compared treatment options and progressed. He chose radiation while I'm considering surgery, but I feel like I would be garnering for sympathy if I shared it with more people that I know. That's very true. That's very true. And a lot of times you don't want people to, especially as a man, you don't want people to feel bad for you. And, you don't want people to feel like, oh, he's just trying to get attention. You know what I mean? So you kind of deal with it. And you do tell people who will understand. You tell your male friends or your male acquaintances, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think you really tell like family members. I don't think you really tell people who are very, very close to you, because sometimes it could look like you're just saying shit. But I don't know, things as serious as cancer, though, I feel like that is something you should at least mention once. I would think that you were kind of searching for attention if you were just constantly bringing it up, like, oh, I'm acting this way because I have cancer, or I'm doing this because I have cancer. That I think is where you're kind of getting into the territory of like attention seeking, but if you mention it to them once and then they decide to kind of, baby you and coddle you and do all these kind of things for you, then it's like, okay, that's on you. You know what I mean? You're doing that because that's what you chose to do. It's not because I'm constantly reminding you of me having cancer, so I do definitely think that you should at least say it once to family members and people that that care, because cancer is a serious thing, man. I've had a lot of people that I know just bam, and they're just like, yeah, they had cancer and they're gone, they're like, yeah, you're projected to have 6 months, and then they're gone next week, and you're like, oh my God, and I think even the person who has the cancer is just like, fuck, I wish I would have told more people, so there's that too. Like, if you got cancer, man, live with no regrets. That's all I could say. 2 more. I am a teacher and I am off for the summer. I get to spend all that time with my daughter, age 4, and my son, who is not quite 1 yet. My wife works full time. My son is just starting to talk, and my wife and I have a friendly competition going on to try to get him to say dada or mama first. What she doesn't know is that while she is at work, I spend the day talking about her and saying the word mama a lot. We have been working on it together for weeks. The other day, she walked in the door after getting home from a long day, and she looked at her and said mama clear as day. She was so happy and rubbed it in my face playfully that he said mama first. Even did a little happy dance. I'll never tell her. Wow. W-Mans. He was just like, I want my wife to win. I want him to say mama first, because I know that's going to excite her so much, and that's going to make the difference. She's going to want to come home more. She's going to be so excited, going through all of this. W-Mans on that one. Yeah, that even got my heart turning a little bit. You know what I mean? I like that. All right, this is going to be our last one for this thread. I I'm not colorblind. When I was very young, I didn't understand what colorblindness was. My dad is colorblind, and I thought that automatically meant I was too. And apparently everybody did. I was maybe in high school before I actually took a test, and I aced it. But by then, all my friends had been buying colorblind compatible versions of board games, and we had all sorts of inside jokes about being colorblind. Also, it's been a bonding moment with my friends, so I just haven't told them, and I've kept up the ruse for 15 years now. Whoa. I mean, you got to take it to the grave now. I mean, there's no telling them now. You know, like, I don't think it would destroy a friendship, but I just think it would be like a shock to the system, because they're just like, since when? And you're just like, yeah, like 15 years ago. You know, like that would be a shock to the system. You would just be like, what? Bro, you've been lying to us for that long? It's like, I've not been lying to you. It's just I found out and I just decided not to tell you, you know. But still, you'd feel a little hurt. You still feel like, damn, what the fuck, man? Like, what are we doing here? So, yeah, I give it to, you know, you got to take it to the grave now. There ain't no way you can't, you know, not take it to the grave. And telling them, I think, would kind of, you know, shake up some friendships. So I would just let it go. I just let it go. You know, it's not hurting you that much. So it is what it is, man. There'll probably come a day where he's just like, oh, yeah, that red thing over there. And it's like, I thought you couldn't see red. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm assuming it's red, right? I'm assuming. I don't know. Like, you gotta take that one to the grave with you, man, and be careful. But that's gonna end in that thread, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that wholesome ass thread. That was a wholesome thread, man. Goodness gracious, that was a wholesome thread. I think we haven't had a very wholesome thread of people just telling nothing but good stories and really restoring our hope in humanity, you know, because a lot of the threads that we've gone over has been a lot of just crazy and wild shit, people backstabbing and doing this and that, and, you know, like it's just been some crazy shit. So to have a wholesome thread, I think, was good. I was really thinking this was going to be a dark thread. Like, when I put it up, I was like, this is probably going to be a very dark thread. I don't think people are going to, you know, we may get one or two good stories, but I think a lot of them is going to be like, oh, you know, I did this to so-and-so. I slept with so-and-so's man and they don't know. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But it was wholesome. It was wholesome. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that thread as much as I did. And I hope, you know, you have a wholesome story of your own that you'd like to share in the comments. But without further ado, I'm going to get into announcements. We'll shoot through those, and then we'll get to today's scenarios for today's Tuesday episode. So patreon.com/MyTheAsshole get you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on Tuesday and Sunday shows. If you're primarily an audio listener, go ahead and keep downloading the podcast. You guys have been showing a lot of support over there, and I appreciate all the support on you guys downloading each and every episode. Man, it's been awesome. There are a few people out there that I'm just like, hey, I see them always downloading and always supporting the show, and I appreciate that. Also, rating the show 5 stars on whatever listening platform you listen to. It does help out a lot, especially if you really enjoy the show. If you want to help out on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok. Instagram and TikTok for the clips. YouTube just for if you want the video version of the podcast. You know, if you want to check out what the video looks like, or you want to see, you know, what my ugly mug looks like, you can go over there on YouTube and subscribe to us over there. But without further ado, that's that. Love all the supports you guys have been helping us out with. And let's get into our scenarios for today. First one. Am I the asshole for not revealing that my brother was cheating on his wife? Ooh. See, this is what I was expecting in the thread. You know, this was the type of shit I was expecting in the thread. But we didn't get that in the thread. We got the wholesomeness. Now we go get into the dirty. Let's get into the dirty. All right, I want to preface this by saying that I do not condone cheating. I just thought this situation was none of my business. And to some degree, facts. You know, like, hey. All right, so me, 19 male, and my older brother, 22 male, has been with his wife, Maria, 24 female, since he was 15. So they've been together for a minute. Oh, and she's actually older than him. Wow. They have had the most toxic and frankly demonic relationship I have ever had the displeasure of witnessing. Maria is actually insane and extremely abusive to my brother, and I'm not just saying that because he's my brother. She's a bitch. Okay, damn. Okay, I mean, he put that in brackets, like, all right, man. When they were still dating, my parents tried everything to stop them from seeing each other. They even sent him to live abroad with our relatives in Europe for a year. But guess what Maria did? Caught a flight and stayed in a hostel nearby. They put him in therapy and pled with him to leave her, but they've stayed together. I don't fault him for it because I know relationships like that can mess with your head, but it's been painful to watch my brother suffer like this. He is a grown man and he is responsible for his own relationships, but she has his first everything and he seems very attracted to her even though. He also has bipolar disorder that he was diagnosed with at 19. His psychiatrics suggest that the stress of the relationship could have triggered it since it runs in our family. And he thinks that it might make him defective and no one else will want him even though he's objectively a great guy. He married her after she got pregnant and they have a 1-year-old son together. My mother and my brother raised that kid. Maria probably hasn't even changed a diaper once. Wow. That's alarming. Maria, okay, I've probably bathed him more than she has. Recently, I have noticed that my brother has been happier since he's been complying with his therapy and meds more and even caught him singing in the shower, which is insane if you knew him. He told me that he met a girl and that he really liked her. He said that she was really nice. She was forcing him to go to his therapy sessions and she was making him take up his old hobbies again. He also said that being with her is making him feel brave enough to leave Maria. I think cheating is bad, but also, side eye. Anyway, somehow Maria found out and she went ballistic. Okay, so I thought it was her cheating on him, but no, it's him cheating on her. Oh, okay, because if it was Maria that was doing the cheating, I would have been like, wait a minute, I don't think that is my business because that's my brother. But since the brother's the one that's doing the cheating, I guess that's why he justifies like that ain't my business. Like, and they already don't like Maria, so they like, shit, fuck that bitch. Yeah, cheat on her. I don't give a fuck about her. You know what I mean? Like, we only keep that bitch around because she had our son's baby. You know. She kidnapped their son and took 3 days to get him back. God damn. She straight kidnapped. The stress that got my brother put on psych hold and everyone's pissed. Okay, so the stress got the brother put on psych hold and everyone's pissed. Good news, it looks like they're getting divorced, but my parents are extremely pissed at me for not telling them that I knew he was seeing someone else. They said that if they knew, they would have been able to deal with the situation better and convince him to leave Maria sooner. I don't think I did anything wrong because it's not my business to spread, but they're very angry with me. Am I the asshole? See, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because if you would have told the parents, then your brother would be mad. But if you didn't tell anybody, then the parents are mad at you. So it's like either way, somebody would have been mad at you. And I think you looked at it like, I'd rather keep the relationship with my brother solid than keeping my parents happy. You know what I mean? Like they're going to love me regardless. Sure, they're going to be upset or whatever, but it is what it is. Like my brother, I want to keep my relationship solid with him, so I'm going to keep a secret. And I'm sure he told me in a form of confiding. He confided in me like, hey, yo, man, I'm seeing this girl, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's really cool. She make me think about leaving my wife, but I don't know yet. And it could be a thing where he didn't say anything because it could have been a thing where his brother is seeing this girl and he likes her and he thinks she's great, blah, blah, blah. But then he goes and tells the parents, but then once the parents talk to the brother about it, the brother's just like, no, you know what? On second thought, I'm not talking to her anymore. Like, I want to be, with Maria. I want to stay with her. Like, it was wrong for me to think about that, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of just like, well, why did I fucking say anything? He was on the ropes about it. Well, I don't know. That's just how I'm seeing the situation. That's what it's seeming like, because it does just seem like he looked at it like, I'm just going to let this unfold the way it's going to unfold, because I'm between a rock and a hard place anyway. You know what I mean? If I say something to my parents, my brother's going to be mad. If I, don't say nothing, then my parents are going to be mad. So it's just like, it is what it is. But I don't think you're the asshole for not revealing it. I think you played it the way you were supposed to, and you kind of just let it happen, because like you said, your brother's grown ass man. If he wants to, if this is how he wants to live his life, this is how he's going to live his life. It's like, and even the parents, I really feel they don't have too much of a say. Sure, they can say, hey, we think that, you shouldn't be with this girl, so on and so forth. But if I'm being real with you, it's a thing of like, it's a thing of simply like, what, if he wants to do that, he wants to do that. Like, as the brother, I shouldn't, that's the responsibility shouldn't be on me. That's my thing. So I don't think he's the asshole, but you let me know in the comments. All right. Am I the asshole for suspecting my wife of doing something awful at her friend's bachelorette party in Mexico? She spent virtually no money and took no pictures. Huh. I'm in the middle of probably the biggest crisis of my adult life, and I can barely think so. Of my adult life, and I can barely think, so I apologize in advance if this comes across as really weird or rambly. All right. My wife went to Mexico last week for a friend's bachelorette party, and aside from the plane ticket, the hotel, and the first day's food and drinks, she didn't spend a penny all week. I mean, on the credit card, it's as clear as day that on Monday up until 9 p.m., she was buying dinner, stuff at the hotel shop, drinks at the bar, souvenirs, and then at 9 p.m., she didn't spend another cent the entire week until she was at her layover airport in Dallas. She says it's because her friend took over and paid for everything. I guess this is plausible, but it's still giving me a funny feeling. What is worse is that my wife is a person who posts her entire life on Instagram, on TikTok, mostly Instagram, but if she does anything from get a latte to picking up the kids at school, she will post it, either as a picture or as a story. The last thing she posted on TikTok was that trend of people jumping into their vacation from the airport. From after that, her social media is blank. I was kind of keeping an eye on it because I was expecting her to go on the trip, was expecting for her to go on the trip. And again, I guess it's plausible, but it gives me a funny feeling. When she got home, I said I can't wait to see all the pics she took, and she really blew me off and said that she didn't feel like taking pictures that week. Oh, either that or she was spending time with somebody she shouldn't be. She also had been incredibly distant the last night. She said she just felt like sleeping on the couch because the AC hits better. This is 100% true, but I swear I heard her talking on the phone in the middle of the night. When I got up to check on her, I accidentally tripped over the dog and made a huge racket. So when I got downstairs, she appeared to be asleep. I brought all this up this morning and said I'm not accusing her of anything, but all this put together is making me feel uneasy. I was trying to bait her or fight with her just to get my feelings on the table. She said, "You are a major fucking asshole for bringing this up on her first day back at work." I said I wasn't trying to pry, just communicating with her. And she said, "Your communication is prying and I'm not discussing this with you ever again." She then took the kids to the summer camp and left. Am I the asshole? Son of a gun. I mean, it does raise some questions, like, why are you acting different all of a sudden? Why is it all of a sudden that you're not taking pictures? You're not doing any of this? Sure. Could your friend, like, I totally think, if your friend took over buying everything, okay, that explains why you weren't buying stuff. Okay, that's fine. But you weren't taking any pictures. You weren't, like posting where you were and, maybe texting me like, hey, we did this today and so on and so forth. Like, that just seems a little sus to me, just in the fact that, like, if you're normally posting every little thing that you do in life and then all of a sudden you don't do that anymore, it just kind of tells me, like, maybe you were doing some stuff that you weren't supposed to, or you were talking to some people you weren't supposed to, or you were around people you weren't supposed to be around, you know? And does he know that for sure? No. And then it kind of sucks that it's like he asked, you know, her to kind of share a little bit and then she kind of blew him off. It's kind of fucked up. It's like, damn, you couldn't even, like, come up with a lie or anything, or just simply tell me the truth. Like, what's up with that? I don't know. It just, it's tough, because it's just like, she could have just, her phone could have died and then she forgot to bring her charger. You know what I mean? Like, it could be something as small as that and you would never even know. But I feel like if it was actually something that small, she probably would have said that. Like, yo, my phone died. I thought I had my charger. I didn't. I'm the only, you know, girl with an iPhone, or I'm the only girl with a Android or something, you know, like they didn't have a charger. I don't know. But I mean, at the same time, it's like you could have just bought one out there, but I don't know. I feel like in a way there's a justification there, but at the same time, there just isn't, because it's like you're acting vastly different all of a sudden. Like, I don't know about all that, but you guys let me know what you think about that one. You know, was she doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing? Is it a little sus that she was changed up the way she was changed up? You guys let me know. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I don't like having sex with him? Oh, damn. Damn, that's tough. That's tough. My husband and I have been married for 5 years and have 2 kids together. 4 and 2. When we had the children, I knew that our sex life would probably take a dive, and I was okay with that. Now that our younger one is a toddler, he doesn't need as much care at night since he sleeps through. I was having a conversation with my husband about our sex life and how I'm not happy with it. He agreed that he was unhappy as well, and that we should both make an effort to do it more. He said that talking about it is hard for him, but he knows he needs to do it in order to fix the issue. While we were talking, I said something along the lines of, well, it's not that enjoyable for me. You stick it in dry and it's very uncomfortable for me. I even bleed sometimes. He looked at me and said, I know, I just don't like foreplay. I don't like doing it at all. Why not? What? Okay, all right, no, I'll give my thoughts on that. I think I was stunned that he said something like that. It's like I confirmed that he doesn't care about me or my feelings / pleasure at all. So then I said, well, I don't really enjoy having sex, honestly. It isn't great for me. And he got upset. He shut down and wouldn't talk to me for a bit. I don't think I was being a jerk or anything, but disagreed. So am I the asshole here? Before I answer that, why don't you like foreplay, my guy? I mean, I love seeing, you know, my woman just quivering under pleasure over my touch. You know what I mean? It's like, that shit is just fantastic. I'm just like, oh, yes. You know? Like, she gripping the bed and shit like that. All over just little DJ Hero. You know? Just over that, man. Getting them 5 stars on the DJ Hero. And she's just like, oh, you know? Like, that shit is fantastic. I love seeing that. I'm just like, All right. Now I got my 2 cents out of the way. On to, is she the asshole for that? Yeah, because I mean, if you're not, that's why the sex life is declining. You know what I mean? He's sitting there like, oh yeah, I want to fix our sex life, but then you don't do anything to fix the main problem that she's having. You know, it's like as if the sink was busted and it's like, oh, you need to buy a new pipe, and you're just like, nah, I don't want to buy a new pipe. Like, you know what I mean? And you're just like, but that's not going to fix the issue then. The issue's not going to be fixed. Like, this is what you need to do. Why aren't you going to do what you need to do to fix the problem? You know? Like, come on, man. And then on top of that, it's like, if you're the type of guy that doesn't like the little DJ Hero, man, go get a little bullet, you know, little buzzers, and use that on her. You know, instead of doing the foreplay. You just, you know, buzz her up a little bit, and then she's ready to go. And that'll probably get her faster than, you know, you playing the DJ Hero. But me, I'm a slow build-up guy. I like to slowly build into shit because I think the sex lasts longer, for one. And then for two, it's a lot more enjoyable on her end because, I already know, man, your boy about to hit that 5 minutes and I'm just like busting nuts. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I ain't gonna cap to you. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I'm a 15-minute man. Nah. I'm gonna keep it real with you, baby. I'm a 5-minute man. But our show is about to, play the little DJ here. I'll buzz you up a little bit. I gotta inflate the time somewhere. So I'm just keeping it facts. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But it's like, dude, there's alternatives. There's so many alternatives, and it sucks that he's not willing to at least look into the alternatives or think about the alternatives of just like, you ain't trying to foreplay with, with a hand or whatever. And you think it's just kind of annoying, or get a little toy or something like that. It doesn't have to be like a big ass, dildo or nothing like that. You could simply just get a little thing and just, and she'd be like, oh shit, okay, I'm ready. I don't know. That's just me. I look at it like I'm the type of guy. If there's a problem, I'm gonna fix it. I don't get it when a dude has a problem in his relationship and then he's just like, nah, I don't want to fix it. It's like, for what? Why? Why don't you want to fix it? You're a man. That's what you do. You fix shit. You know what I mean? Like, you fix shit. There's a problem. You fix it. Like, I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm different. I don't know. All right, on to our next one. My husband cheated with my son's girlfriend. What? Damn. God damn. Woo, okay. So I have to tell this story because it's almost crazy to even believe. My husband, 43, has been together, and I have been together for 20 years now, but only married for 6 years. We had hit a terrible time in our relationship 2 months into our marriage when he was arrested for drug use. I was unaware he was using. I had went to work thinking he had the flu, and come to find out it was actually drug withdrawal. He was arrested and sentenced to drug rehabilitation. He relapsed several times during his course of our patient treatment and eventually forced to serve a sort of in-house jail rehabilitation. During all of this, my son, 25 male, was dating his girlfriend, 26 female. They had been together for 7 years at the time the cheating occurred. My son and the girlfriend were living at my parents' house for about a mile away while she went to college, and college my son paid for. Oh shit. The entire time my son and her dated, I kept thinking at some point she is going to leave him. I just kind of felt like she wasn't all that into him. He was paying for her college because he felt like this was an investment into her future, into their future together. She graduated college with her associate's degree, and I felt at any time the bomb was going to drop that she was going to leave him. At this point, my husband and I have been going through a rough time. He wasn't finishing up his stuff for the rehabilitation. He wasn't working, and I kind of felt like he was hiding something else. My thoughts were that he was going to be using again, and I was consistently trying to find out by looking through texts and emails. One morning, I randomly get a call from our son. He says, "Mom, we need to talk." He says, "Grab your keys and meet me outside of the house. Don't wake up Dad." I said, okay. At this point, I am thinking to myself, oh no, she's pregnant and my son is freaking out. What happened in the next hour could destroy my entire life. I get into the car and my son says, where should we? Oh yeah, I get into the car and my son says, where should we go to talk privately? I said, let's drive down to the locks to the locks that are about 5 minutes down the road, but a pretty secluded place to have a private chat. My son stops the car and says, Mom, my girlfriend and my dad and my stepdad are cheating with each other.
What did he say?
That's what I'm sure she was thinking. God damn. At this point, I am hearing him, but I'm not hearing him. Facts. Facts. She's like, what did he say? Oh, you're not. And this is okay. I feel like my soul has just left my body and I'm in an alternate universe. My son had found emails from his girlfriend and my husband saying stuff like how funny it would be if they left us for each other. Wow. talking about how they would meet up every time my son and I left for work at my house to have nightly activities in my bed. How she had gotten me to braid her hair on multiple occasions just so she could come over to see him. I'm hearing all of this and my daily life was flashing before my eyes. She was just like, wow, bitch has been scheming. She been scheming. Every time she came over to be like, oh my God, I'd so love for you to braid my hair. Oh, let's cook cookies together, blah, 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 blah. Like, she's really there because she's thinking about sucking my man off. Like, that's crazy. Oh my God, how she would ask to come over to my house to study because my parents' house was too noisy, or how she would ask if I would braid her hair for the next work day. Facts. I just said that she was coming over to this house, you know, thinking like, oh no, I just want to study. Oh no, braid my hair. Oh, I just want this. Oh, let's do this. When in reality, she over there dripping for her man. That's crazy, son. Crazy. I would think she was trying to bond with me for our son when actuality she was there to make eyes at my husband for him to do the same with her right under my nose. Needless to say, I kicked her out that day, and after 2 weeks she moved out of my parents' home and into an apartment with my husband. As of now, we are still married and filed for divorce, but our court date has not been set yet. My 15 female daughter is completely crushed. Her and my son's now ex-girlfriend never got along. They in fact hated each other and still do. My soon-to-be ex-husband has decided that my daughter is just better off not having him in her life because he is going to the drugs as soon as all of this court hearing for drug court is over. What is so appealing about this man? I don't get it. This nigga's a drug addict. You know what I mean? And he's got all these fucking problems and this and that. Like, why would this 26-year-old girl want to be with this 40-year-old drug addict of a man? Like, what is so appealing about him? What makes this man attractive? What makes you want to be with him? You know, like, I get it if maybe, you know, they were flirting with the fantasy and, you know, maybe they had sex once or twice because, it's a hot sneaking around, blah, blah, blah. But they're in an actual relationship. Like, they live in a fucking apartment together. And then homeboy is just like, oh, yeah, once all this divorce court is done, going back to the drugs. Let's go. I'm about to get up in them needles. Like, what are we doing? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it. You're like, baby girl, you're 26. What are you doing with this 40-year-old drug addict nigga? That's crazy, bro. Both of my kids went through a terrible depression, and I am still trying to figure out what in the world just happened to my family. I am so confused on all of this. Me too. For one, look, I get it if it was a thing where, you know, this little young girl was looking at this older dude and she wanted to smash here and there, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. You're fantasizing it, whatever. But she wants an actual relationship with this guy. And then old boy is sitting there talking about, oh yeah, when this divorce court is done, I'm about to hit the drugs hard, baby. Like, yeah, like, fuck them kids. You better take them kids because I'm about to be drugged up with my young little thing. What does she see in this guy? I don't know, man. You let me know what you think about that in the comments, because I don't see it. Maybe you guys saw something that I didn't see. Or maybe you guys, you know, could add a different perspective on this, because to me, it ain't making sense. For a 26-year-old girl to be wanting to be with a 40-year-old drug addict dude. You know, like, I get it if homeboy wasn't into drugs and all that kind of stuff. Maybe he has his shit together and, you know, all that. Okay, all right, I can see the appeal there, you know. But for him to be like, man, I can't wait for the divorce courts to be done because I'm about to be hitting them needles like all day, dirt day. Like, what? I don't know. You guys, again, let me know. Add some different perspective to this, because I ain't got none. I don't know what. I can't think of it. Why she would be attracted to this dude. But this is going to go ahead and be our last one. If you got this far in the episode, thank you guys so much for getting this far into the episode. Love you all. Keep downloading the podcast, rating it 5 stars, following us on everything. Patreon.com/MileyTheAsshole Podcast. $3 a month. Get you that exclusive episode every single Friday. All the goodies there. So let's get into this last scenario and close this bad boy out, and I'll send you guys off on your beautiful Tuesday. Am I the asshole for telling my brother, you fucked up, and this is the result? So let's see what happened. Okay, so I am only posting here because I need some help. Okay, so I, Elise, 28 female, have a brother, Greg, 39 male, and we are close as ever despite our age gap and upbringing, which is a long story, but I won't get into it. He has a wife, Tisha, 31 female, sorry. And 2 boys, S and C, okay, 3 years old and 7 months old. They have been together 10 years and married 6. Tisha and I are super close, and we have confided in each other about almost everything. Okay, background. I have a close friend who I will call May, 29 female. We both met at an industry event about 6 years ago and have been super close ever since. She has come with me to family events, holidays, and everything. She was like another sister. Tisha loved her too. In fact, we were the 3 musketeers of our family. So about 3 months ago at a family dinner, I noticed Tisha was acting distant, with everyone. We would try to engage in conversation, but only got one-worded answers or very short answers, and she just looked down and she took care of the baby the whole night by herself. I asked my brother, and he said he would walk to her and figure it out. The next time we spoke, he said she said she wasn't feeling good. For some odd reason, I don't believe it, but I didn't push it. They then, on a 3-week work trip / vacation to New Zealand, as I talked to them in New Zealand, it seemed fine. They got home a week ago, and that's when the shitstorm arrived. My brother comes to my house last night, Tuesday, and told me everything. Basically, him and May have been having an affair for years. Tisha found out and threw him out to go be with May. But my brother says he doesn't want May and regrets everything.
Stop the cap.
I don't know about that one, man. Yeah, an affair that says that you've been doing this for months, bruh. Okay. I was so pissed that I called May at the moment and went off, and I told her to never come near me or I'll gouge her eyes out. I called her worthless and scum and a whore and hung up. Oh, damn. Okay. All right. I called her worthless. Oh, no, hold on. We did that one. Okay. She couldn't even reply. I kicked him out and told him that he is a scum as well and that he fucked up and these are his consequences. I also told him I hope Tisha divorces him and takes everything. Then I slammed the door in his face. Like I know I was wrong, but I was angry. I'm writing this the next morning after sleeping and thinking about everything. I don't know where Greg and May are, and I don't care at this time. They both have called me countless times. Tisha hasn't, and I'm worried about her. I don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for yelling at Greg last night after finding out the truth? I want him to feel like shit, but maybe I should have done something different. Help me, please. I mean, I don't think it's your job to make him feel like shit, if I'm being honest with you. Don't get me wrong. You scold him and be like, hey, what you did was fucking wrong and stupid, but I don't think it's your position to be to be making him feel like shit. I mean, that's Tisha's job, if I'm being real with you. But for some reason, Tisha, she's so in shock. She's like, holy shit, I didn't think this was ever going to happen. And I think even, me and you, the viewer, are shocked too, because we like, what the fuck? How in the hell did this happen? But it happened. It happened, and it is what it is. But personally, I don't think that you should have been so hard on your brother the way you were, just because it's like, look, your brother, he did some fucked up shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But at the same time, that's your brother. That's your blood. He's gonna fuck up. And yeah, you tell him, hey, you fucked up and that what you did was stupid and this and that. 100%. But that's still your blood. That's still your blood. You gotta understand, like siblings don't get along, but at the same time, it's like that's still your blood. So it's like I would at least apologize for being too difficult. Like, look, I was a little too much, but I was angry and I was pissed, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. You know what I mean? 100%. Rightfully so. But it was just one of those things where I'm like, damn, son, you fucked it up. And yeah, I don't think you're the asshole, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, because you said, are you the asshole for telling your brother that he fucked up and this is his consequences? No, because as his sibling and as his sister, that's what you should do. Be like, bro, you fucked up. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I think sometimes it takes somebody to kind of let you know you fucked up. You know what I mean? And that helps you kind of realize, like, oh shit, I fucked up. Like this, So I like I said, I don't think you're the asshole at all. I just think that you were a little too rough on him, to be honest with you. Because like I said, at the same time, let him know that you fucked up. You know what I mean? But I hope she divorces you, and I hope that she takes all your shit, and I hope that you live the worst life and all that. That was a little too much. You ain't got to agree with his decisions and what he's doing, but damn, you ain't got to, disown the motherfucker. Like, shit. I'm just saying. That's my 2 pennies. Hopefully you guys can put in the comments what you think and your perspective. I'd love to hear it. But that's going to go ahead and be it for today's Tuesday episode. Thank you guys so much for all the support, the love, and downloading the podcast, rating it, following us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Downloads have been through the roof, so I appreciate all of that. You guys are super, super awesome. I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing to help out the show. And, if you get all the way to the end of the episode, man, you the real GOAT, and I appreciate it. But without further ado, that's going to be it for your boy. I'll see you guys on Thursday for our next chapters of A Court of Thorns and Roses. Hopefully that book starts to get a little more juicy, man. What I've noticed is this book is a lot lighter than Haunting Adeline. I feel like we kind of went out the gate with a heavy one with Haunting Adeline, and then this one is a lot lighter. You know what I mean? So after we finish this book, I'll probably see if I could find something a little more heavier and juicier for us to talk about, because we're already maybe like 10 or so chapters in. Not much has really happened, so we'll get more into that on the Thursday's episode. I'll talk to you guys more about that in Thursday's episode, but hopefully it gets a little more juicier, man. I'm hoping for something crazy to happen. You know what I mean? So we'll talk about it on Thursday. I'll see you guys Thursday. Love you all. Peace.